then that's wrong. My recollection of when I was going to school is the Constitution says there's a church and there's a state, and they shouldn't mess with each other. And if they do, then that's against the law. Ain't it? Is that the way it goes? All right, when you have a president who has been elected with the assistance, very strong assistance, of fundamental religious groups who have put money and electronic technology behind his campaign to put him in there, they're shaking hands pretty good. And obviously, now that he's in the White House, he has to help them out because they can cause him a lot of problems for his programs while he's in there. So it's a very dependent deal, the same way as the president is dependent on military and industrial organizations that have supported his regime. The thing that's bad about letting any kind of religious organization, whether it's fundamentalist, whether it's Jewish, whether it's Catholic, whether it's Hindu, whatever, to get involved in the business of controlling the secular life of the population, is that it's got to lead to the same kind of problems that you have in the Middle East.
Yeah, I want to pick up on a word that you used in referring to the Reagan administration. Instead of using the word administration, you use the word regime.
It is a regime.
Why do you think it is a regime and not an administration?
Because administration is almost a benevolent word, you know. Let's talk semantically here. Administration kind of is more positive, you know. It sounds like it's getting something done. And a regime is a little bit more iron-fisted type. And that's why I would use that linguistic distinction. And I think that the situation that we have right now is a cartoon president who is an actor. The guy is an actor. They should have given him an Academy Award and let it go at that.
Is that a bad thing to be an actor? Can an actor have a mind?
If you are an actor and you want to act, go do it. If you're an actor and you want to be the President of the United States, have something going for you more than your acting ability. I don't believe he has the intellectual substance to back up what he says because his lines are manufactured for him. He is surrounded by people who feed him information, not all of it good, in fact, most of it bad. And he sits there and acts it out. He's reading the teleprompter. He's a teleprompter president. You take that support team away from him, he's hollow. He's got nothing going for him. He's a smiling, nice guy. He's a nice cowboy guy. All right? Is this what we deserve?
What if people would say of Frank Zappa, he's a musician? How dare he think that he can make these kinds of statements and get away with it? You know, just as you have just said, Ronald Reagan is an actor, he should have stayed there. What if people would say Frank Zappa is a musician and he should just stick to his music?
I am sticking to my music, so there's no problem there. But as far
as
being...
But you're also speaking out on your feelings.
Well, you asked me. I didn't come over here and bang you over the head. But in the case of Ronald Reagan, you know, I think that it goes beyond... It's not me criticizing actors as a species and saying you may never rise above the acting profession and you may never go on. You know, if you're an actor and you know something about foreign policy and you know something about economics and you know something about the military and you know something about something other than being phony, which is what actors get paid to do, to pretend, okay? If you are equipped, go be the president. I don't think he's equipped. The only thing he's got is friends in high places, friends with money, and people who feed him stuff to say. I mean, let's be honest about it.
And a lot of people don't share those views, though.
They're wrong. That's my view. I think they're wrong. They're being duped. You know, the emperor's not wearing any clothes. The guy's got nothing to offer. He waves, he smiles nice. He's a nice guy, okay? I don't hate him. I just think he's not equipped to be the president. He was elected by 17% of the population in an election where the people were offered a choice between Tweedledum and Tweedledee, you know, and Tweedledee got it.
Obviously, you feel strongly about this, though, because it's something that you like to talk about. I mean, even though, yes, you were invited and I asked you the question, you have definite opinions on it.
Sure. I have opinions about it because I think about it every day. It's impossible to watch the daily news, which I watch a lot of. I try and check up on what's going on in the world, and it's impossible to watch the news without having some kind of gut reaction to what's going on. And when I see the pathetic solutions that are being offered by this regime to the problems facing the United States, economic and otherwise, I get very angry because they're the wrong solutions. You know how to solve the economic crisis? Tax the churches. Tax the churches and all the businesses that they own, and tax them all the way back to their inception. They should pay their fair share of what it costs to run the country. You tax the churches, you won't have to take the food off the dish of the school lunches. There's plenty of money there. They're making plenty of money. Tax them. Nobody in government is going to stand up and say that, and it's the most common sense solution to the economic problem. There's plenty of money owed by those organizations who claim to be religious and who are actually in the real estate business. They're in the supermarket business. They're in the chocolate business. They're in a lot of businesses above and beyond helping people to get to heaven. And these are all very temporal businesses, and they should be taxed the same as the guy who owns a gas station.
We have to break away again. I know that you were raised Catholic. I want to find out exactly where you are as far as religion, organized religion is when we come back. Can we do that?
Sure.
Okay. We'll be right back. You were raised Catholic. Do you belong to any organized religion now?
No, I don't pay dues to any organized religious organization.
Would you consider yourself a religious person?
Absolutely.
And how do you show that within your life? I mean,
it's not a matter of showing it to anybody. I don't think that by showing your religious beliefs to anybody that makes you a religious person.
And how do you live it?
I live it through my music, and I live it through the way that I conduct my business.
What about the way you conduct yourself with other human beings? Do you feel a responsibility to other human beings because of the way you handle your own religion?
Of course.
And what is that?
Well, as an employer, I am responsible for the well-being of the people who work for me, and I take that responsibility seriously. As an entertainer, I'm responsible for delivering the best of what I can do to the audience that has bought a ticket to see it or buys a record to hear it. I have a feeling of responsibility. I take it seriously, and I act accordingly.
And what about your friends, your neighbors, your family?
Well, I don't have any friends, and my neighbor is a urologist.
You don't have any friends?
No, I only have, when you're the boss, you don't have any friends.
Well, what about people outside the business, or?
I don't have any time for social activities.
Then who would be your friend?
Well, I have a wonderful wife and 4 children. I like them. They're my friends.
So your wife is your friend?
Right.
Do you think that's important for a relationship?
Well, if you're not friendly, it's not going to be too fun to live together.
But there's a difference between being friendly and being in love with someone and having that same someone be your friend.
Oh, yeah, true. Friendship is a very important dimension, and I think that a marriage without friendship has got to be pretty dreadful.
Do you, when you're not working, do you just sort of cut yourself off from the rest of the world and you're with your family?
Well, when I'm not touring, I'm at home. I live in Los Angeles, but I don't go out in Los Angeles because it's a very horrible place.
Then why do you live there?
For my business.
Oh, for your business.
And I just stay home. I have a studio in my house. I do my recording there. And that's it. And when I'm done doing that part of my work, I go off on the road, and travel around, and do this kind of stuff.
I know you're very anti-drug, drugs of any kind.
Right.
How did that start?
Well, I was just never very enthusiastic about drugs or drug culture. And I saw what it had done to a lot of people, musicians that I'd worked with, the ways that it affected their lives. I saw, well, since I've been touring for about 16 years, I've had a chance to watch the results of several different phases of popular chemical alteration on the audience as we play. You know, every once in a while a different drug goes on the charts, and everybody uses it, and it affects the consciousness of the whole segment of the population.
I remember once being at a concert. It was a Rod Stewart concert, and it was in Chicago. And I remember walking in there and being so overwhelmed by the odor of marijuana that I couldn't breathe.
Yeah, it's pretty sticky.